which was considered the best in the world. Harlan sends a drone army to attack Bangalore, killing 50,000 people in the process. This event sparks a war between humans and AI. After 10 days of intense attacks worldwide, the AI bots have killed over 1 million civilians on a rocket, leaving behind a message that he'll return to finish what he started. 28 years later, an ICN team, led by Colonel Elias, bursts into a building in the USA. They use a scanner to check on all the people inside until they find Casca, an AI bot. The team rushes upstairs, but before they can break down the door, Casca attacks them. He jumps to the lower floor, only to find a machine waiting for him to knock him out with an electric shock. The next morning in Los Angeles, Val's now adult daughter, Atlas, is woken up by her house's computer while she continues playing the chess match from last night. Atlas watches the news and learns that the ICN every enemy. Their running takes them to an atmospheric storm, which catches the suit and blows it around until the bots shoot them out of it. The suit rolls around for a while until it crashes against a rock formation. Atlas has a broken leg. Smith immediately begins treating the wound, making Atlas scream in pain as he covers the injury with a small metal plate. Then Smith gives her a meal cube that can provide nutrients for her recovery, which reminds Atlas of a doctor giving her a lollipop. Their chances of survival are pretty low, and the only way to improve them would be synchronizing. Atlas reluctantly agrees and puts on the device. Meanwhile, Casca emerges from the rubble and calls Harlan to inform him of the situation. After hanging up, Harlan goes back to torturing Elias to extract the Earth's protective field passwords. Moments later, Atlas extracts the other code. Once he's done, he notices Atlas' respirator only has 5 minutes of oxygen left, so he decides on a slow, painful death for her to mock her. Harlan puts her chest piece in her hand before leaving. After Harlan's gone, Elias reveals he's alive and apologizes for not listening to Atlas' warnings when he heard his programming. It turns out that when she was a kid, she was jealous of Harlan. Smith explains his battery is low, Harlan will launch the warhead in a few minutes, and the bots stripped all his weapons, except for a single shot in his chest cannon. Thankfully, there are a bunch of weapons lying around, so they can punch him and tear his sword arm off. When Atlas is about to crush his head, Harlan calls his arm back to him and uses his sword to jump all over the suit, trying to damage the reactor. The suit goes down, and Atlas is almost dead, so Smith uses his last energy to activate the defibrillator on his hand. Harlan attacks again, and Smith shoots his last cannon to push him away. However, Harlan quickly recovers and makes the QF suit fall. Then Harlan climbs on top of it and finally destroys the reactor, while Smith's his circuits to deactivate him. At that moment, Smith announces he is turning off the sink to transfer all the oxygen to her. Atlas doesn't want to leave without him and starts answering the questions from the tutorial, admitting she does like him. Touched by her gesture, Smith gives her a lollipop before shutting down. At that moment, the sun rises, and the rescue team from Earth finally arrives. Sometime later, Atlas is healthy, thanks to a synthetic knee, and doesn't play chess anymore. Jake comes to visit her and brings her the glowing flower from GR39, confirming they're calling it Planty. Then she goes to work,